I personally, as a Christian, I like to give first, save second, and live on the rest with everything else. Most budgets feel like a diet. It's because that they tell you what not to do, what not to buy, and then they make you feel bad when you mess up. And that's why most people, they just simply don't stick with a budget, is because it feels like it's all about saying no. No coffee, no fun, no peace. But what if budgeting wasn't exactly about saying no? What if it was about saying yes, but saying yes to the right things, to the things that matter most? And if you're a Christian, budgeting isn't all about money. It's more about your heart. And it's a prime way to show what you actually care about. Your spending reflects your values. It's a way for you to live on purpose. And the Bible actually talks about money a lot. It's got over 2,000 different verses on money in the Bible. That's more than verses about heaven and hell. And that's not because money is the goal, it's because it can be a huge heart issue. So today, I want to talk to you about how you can create a simple plan for your money, one that gives you peace, one that makes you more generous, and one that helps you stop living paycheck to paycheck. Also, real quick, if you know that you need help, I offer a free strategy call. I'll help you look at your money, see where it's going, find out what's working and what's not, and then we can talk about building a plan that actually works for you. Simple, no pressure. You can book the call using the link right below if that's helpful. Now, let's get back into it. In Luke 14, verse 28, Jesus says, "Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and figure out the cost?" In short, that's what a budget does. It's not necessarily a new idea, it's more God's idea. And God wants you to be a good steward of how you plan your money. Not because He needs your money, but because He cares about your heart. You're not just making a plan for stuff, you're building a life, and a life that shows what matters most to you. And that's the key. A budget is not just about the dollars that go in it. It's a mirror. It shows you what you value. It shows you where your time, where your energy, where your resources, where all your trust goes, okay? And Jesus said, "Where your treasure is, there also will be your heart." And so if you want your heart to chase the right things, you have to point your money there as well. So here's a simple plan that I teach with my clients. It's to give first, save second, live on the rest. That's if you're a Christian. If you're not a Christian, you can do whatever you want. But give first, save second, and live on the rest. And let's break down how that actually works into these simple steps. First off is to give. Proverbs 3:9 says to honor the Lord from your wealth with the first fruits. That means the first part of your money, your income, your business income, that goes to God. Not what's left over. You're giving Him the first fruits. Giving shows that all of the money ultimately belongs to Him. He provides everything in the first place. And what that does, it helps our hearts to stay soft, to be thankful, and to be open. And when you give first, that's building trust. You're saying, "God, I trust you to take care of the rest. I give you the first 10%, and with the 90% that you're allowing me, I want to be a good steward of that." Next up, I want you to think about saving. Proverbs 21:20 says that the wise store up, but fools use it all. Saving is going to help you to stay ready. Whether it's something breaks, something goes wrong, or maybe God's asking you to do something big. You're not saving out of fear, you're saving because it's the smart thing to do. And what happens is when you save, you're creating margin. And I call it just breathing room, right? You're creating space to rest, space to say yes when God gives you an opportunity, whether it's going to be a mission trip or it might just be helping out a friend, or it might be taking off time when you need it. Saving is going to give you options, and those options bring peace. Then third, I want you to live on the rest. That means rent, food, gas, and yes, fun money as well. But only after giving and saving. You've got to count those as one of the first things that you do. And that's where most people get stuck, is because they try to live first and then hope that something is left over to either give or to save. But usually it doesn't work that way, because we spend what we see. And that's why giving and saving, they must happen first if you want them to do it. Right when your money hits the bank account, set up an automatic transfer to go towards giving or to go towards saving. So let's make this real. If you make $4,000 in a month, you give $400, that's 10%. You save $400, also 10%, and you live on the other $3,200. It's not meant to be strict, it's meant to be clear. At the end of the day, you can look back and know that you gave and that you have savings set aside, and it's matching what you say you believe with what you actually value. It's putting that first and foremost. It's not about reacting or choosing, it's actually demonstrating what you value by putting those in first. And guess what? Studies show that people who give and budget, they feel less stressed. They feel more joy. They even do better with their money over time. Even science says that giving brings happiness and planning is going to bring peace. But you may still have a ton of questions like, what if I can't give right now? Maybe give 20 bucks or start by tracking your spending. It's not necessarily about the amounts as much as it is you just becoming aware. And these small steps are still going to move you forward. And if your spouse isn't on board, if your husband or your wife, they're just not on the same page, don't fight about it. Pray about it. Be kind. Show them what peace looks like. Start by modeling it yourself. You can invite them to join you. Let your life be more of the example, not about force. And if you mess up, it's okay. It's all part of it. We all do. Get back up. Try again. God is not going to be there grading your budget. He's more in the business of shaping your heart. He's patient. He sees your effort. He's with you in the process. Now let's talk about those hard months where you make a plan, but the numbers, they just don't work. Maybe you're in the red. And in that moment, you've got at least two different levers that we can pull, right? The first one is going to be to spend less. You can either cut back and only pay so much. You can cut back on the groceries. You can cut back on these the fun purchases. But you also don't want to be, you can only cut so much. You can only technically cut 100%. And at that point, you're living down by the river in a van, eating fish off a stick that you made as a fishing pole, right? I don't want that for you. You can only cut so much. So the second lever that we can pull is your income. Now, I've worked with clients that have doubled, tripled their income just by picking up a few side gigs or either maybe working out in their own job to increase their income. And that's the second lever that we can pull is by just increasing your income. You can only cut so much, but your income has no upside potential. I mean, there's no limit to the upside that you can make. God often provides through work, but not necessarily through wishing. And so if you can bring in more income, that pressure that you're feeling right now starts to lift. And when that pressure lifts, your choices get better too. Work is not necessarily a curse, it's a gift. And it's a tool that God uses to bless you and to bless others. And in my coaching, I help people follow 3 simple steps to manage all of this. The first is to track your money. The second is to plan where should it go. And then the third is we are reviewing each month to stay on track. And this process helps you to stop guessing. It helps you to start seeing progress. And it works even if you've tried other things. Maybe you felt like they just weren't working or you need a finance degree. You just need a system. That's all you need. You need a system that works and you need the heart to be able to stick with it. And so if you want this help, again, book the free strategy session below. We can look at your numbers, talk about your goals, and build a plan that actually works for you. For this session, there's no cost. It's all about getting clarity. And again, links below. But here's your next step. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to pray over your money and over your budget this week. I want you to ask God what needs to change and then come up with a plan. I personally, as a Christian, I like to give first, save second, and live on the rest with everything else. And you don't need to do all of it today. You just need to start. Budgeting isn't all about rules, it's about values. And it's not meant to be about guilt, it's meant to be about peace, about reducing pressure. It's not about becoming rich. It's about being faithful with what we begin. I want to give some encouragement. You've got this. You do not have to do it alone. I'm here to help every step of the way. Thanks for the support. We'll see you in the next video.